Hey guys, what's up? Shadolance back with another review, once again courtesy of Project Zeus. This is the AK-74M gold-plated, one of the most coveted assault rifles in the entire game. It's a very high damage gun, it's one of the AK series, so it's going to have high accuracy, but it's also going to have high recoil like, the rest of the series. This is one of the largest series in the entire game, and certainly one of the most dominant in any first-person shooter. You've got the AK-74U, the 74U gold-plated, 74M, 74M gold-plated. You have the STG-44, which is forged from the AK-74U, and then you have the 47 gold-plated, AK-103, AK-103 gold-plated, then the 3A and 94 guns, the TAC-TOP, the regular, and the Zarkovs, the AEK-971, the AK-12, and then there's some other guitar guns which can be forged from it, and so on. So, massive family. Now, the AK-74M gold-plated is considered to be one of the best among them, excluding the new Zarkovs and a couple of other ones. Some people would argue the AN-94 TAC-TOP, but I still find the AK-74M to be a bit better than that, especially the gold-plated one. Going into the stats, damage is 45, portability is 63, rate of fire of 70, accuracy of 90, and recoil of 68. Now, every single one of the AK series, at least not the cousin variants, and I'm including the AN-94s as cousin variants, can take suppressors, sights, and magazines. Now, there are really several ways you can use these kind of guns. First of all, you can put an S1 suppressor with an extended magazine 1 or 2 on it and try to spray. That drastically reduces the recoil and changes the recoil pattern to be actually better. Normally the S1 suppressors make recoil patterns screwed up or funky and ruins it with a scope. But that's why you don't put a scope on it. You just stick with the suppressor and the magazine if you really want it. Some people tend to go for higher accolades, and because the suppressor lowers damage, having extra bullets is always a plus. Now, personally, I prefer to use it a different way. I prefer to put on an ACOG scope and try to tap fire very slowly with it. Now, typically that's better for the M14 family, given that you have to tap fire slow enough to let the recoil settle down. The entire AK family is well known for having a high recoil. This gun in particular has a 68, very high. Now, the only difference between the AK gold-plated and the AK-74M, the two variants of the 74 that are most dominant, is that there's a damage increase of 1 from the 74M to the 74M gold-plated. However, there are a few hidden things as well. The draw speed is notably faster on the gold-plated, at least by most people's standards. Most people also tend to think that the reload is a bit faster on the M gold-plated, although I've never actually clocked that myself. Now, the AK-74M has much worse damage drop-off than the gold-plated. Now, it's still great. Don't get me wrong. I would still give the damage drop-off on the AK-74M a 7 or 8 of 10. It's great. But the 74M gold-plated, I would give a 9 to a 9.5 of 10. The only guns that typically sport a better damage drop-off than that are some of the higher-ranked M14 family and some of the higher-ranked G36E family, such as the Valkyrie and the Autumn Valkyrie. So, you're looking at a very consistently damaged gun, very high damage, and it's typically a very easy gun to use if you know what you're doing. It's considered to a degree a pro noob gun, which is really weird. You have to know how to use it properly, but once you do, it's so easy to use that it really does make you even feel like a noob when you're using it, just because it's so easy to get kills with. It's a high-damage, sprayable gun, even though the spread is quite big. Now, the gold-plated has a much faster spread recovery than the AK-74M, although the overall spread size is the same. So that's also a nice little perk. Now, I've actually clocked that. I don't have the exact values, but I can tell you for sure that it is certainly faster. Quickly comparing it to the AK-103 gold-plated, my personal favorite of the AK series, has a damage of 48, so 3 points higher than the 74M gold-plated. However, the portability is 55 compared to 63, so you're looking at an 8-point decrease. Rate of fire is also 68, which is 2 points below the gold-plated. Accuracy is still 90, and recoil is 68, which is also the exact same as the gold-plated, the AK-74M, that is. Now, all these guns have an ammo capacity, of 30 of 90. That's pretty much the average. I mean, that's what every single one has. Now, the AK-74M gold-plated can be got several ways. AK-74N, the old crate, Mist N, Transport Locker, Mega Mist Crate, which is what I personally recommend, the Mist November, Mist Whiskey, and Mist Infinity. Now, Mist Infinities, I don't really typically buy those. If I were to say any two ways to get it, the Mega Mist Crate or the Mist Whiskey. The Mist Whiskey has some other cool guns in it that I personally think are better than others. That's just kind of my own personal opinion. Now, the AK-103, for one of the reasons I love it more, is that it has a burst mode. The AK-74M gold-plated and the regular AK-74M do not sport that. That's just one of the things that I find very useful in the AK-103 that makes me prefer it over the AK-74M gold-plated. And just the AK-74 family in general. I prefer the 103 over the 74, but I'm weird. That's about all the time I have for a review today, though, guys. Thank you for watching. Please rate, comment, subscribe, drop a like, and a comment, and a subscribe if you'd be so inclined. And I will see you guys in the next video. Shadolance, out.